Just start by telling me your name, your title, and then how long you've worked at UNC.
My name's Kate Clegg. I am a project manager for Heart and Vascular, who has recently went with the Epic Core team. I've been at UNC for over five and a half years.
Okay. And then tell me, so you were among the group and the engagement team that kind of came up with the idea for having a hospitality cart that went around to our patients, bringing them food, bringing them drinks, healthy snacks, things like that. How did you guys come up with that idea?
As a group, we were talking about how we can really impact the patients at UNC, and the patients are just not the people that we care for in the bed or that come in to get procedures. The patients are our family members that come through, any visitors within UNC, and a lot of times there's a lot of hardship for those families where the cost of parking, the cost to eat, and repetitive visits that they're needing to come to UNC so that we're able to provide the care that we do. And we were just tossing around ideas of how can we really help the people who we're here to serve, and that's when the food cart idea popped up, and to go through our waiting rooms and make sure that we can give them something to drink, something to snack on while they're waiting. The worry alone from a family member is stressful enough. To try to take away just the burden from them is really what the end focus is. And with this being the employee campaign, the thought of we need to make sure that people understand this is truly given to you by the employees of UNC. This is their money wanting to make a difference in the people that we serve's lives. And so the cart, that's where the idea of the cart came on, and something along the lines of this is provided you from the employees of UNC. So I don't know, that's where it came from.
And then I know there were several folks in there, I'm trying to remember who. I'm going to talk to Carla when I leave here, who are very passionate about the idea. But I know you were among the folks who was most passionate, saying we need to have something to help these people who are here for sometimes months on end. So tell me about some of those folks, whether the folks you work with or others you just see who are here for a long time, and what you see them face and how you think this would help them.
The family members that we see are, of course, with my background being in heart and vascular, patients with heart failure, transplants, cabbages, valve replacements. Sometimes their stays can be very long, and there are so many other patients at UNC, not just heart, that it's not 3 days in the hospital. They are traveling greater than 60 miles to even get here, and we get so caught up in every single day of, okay, we come in, we provide the care, and we watch these family members struggle. We watch them come in emotionally just completely burn out, but yet they're driving greater than 60 miles. The price of gas is up. Everything is cost related, and we do what we can with ordering food for the patients, but you see them sitting there and they're hungry, and what can we do when they barely just have enough to make it through the day? This is only a small piece of what we can do to help, but at least we're helping. At least our money is going to go to something where we, the providers, can actually see something tangible, that our money is going towards those people that we take care of. I think that's the bottom line, is that every day we watch the hardships of people. We do what we can on the level that we can do it on. We donate. We don't know where the money goes. This is something that truly represents from the staff who provide the direct patient care, and that we all know what they do. I mean, they bring there are nurses that bring in food for family members. These are not people at UNC who just walk through the door and clock in and clock out. They are with them. They become part of their family member as they're here for such a long time. And if we can just do something to make it better for them, it's worth every penny.
And so, let's say the end of April, the goal I think is $100,000. We've reached the goal. Let's just say the hypothetical goal. We've reached the goal, and so this cart's going to start in July 1. What are you most looking forward to when you see that cart, whether it comes to your area or whether it comes to just the inpatient floors or the waiting areas? What are you most looking forward to, knowing that that we've done, being able to fund that for at least the next year?
What I'm most looking forward to is the smiles on the faces of the people who are in the waiting rooms. The waiting rooms are not, they're kind of sad when you walk in, especially into the unit waiting rooms. Just to know that we can give peace, give something back to them. The second part would be knowing that I was part of it and that I could actually again see I made a difference in the care that we give.
Anything else we haven't talked about you'd want to say, either about this idea, the campaign in general? I thought that was good. I can get plenty of stuff out of that. So.
Can you?
Yeah. I think so.
Just that we rock. UNC rocks!
At UNC.
My name is Carla Jones. I've been at UNC for almost 10 years now, and I work here on 5-bed tower, which is an orthopedics and trauma unit.
Now have you always worked on 5-bed tower, or have you been at any other units while you've been at UNC?
I have. I have worked in ISCU. I've been a part of the neuroscience ICU and a part of 5-bed tower in my time here.
Okay, good. Just getting ready to start. This is the third employee campaign. The goal this year is to raise $100,000, and the big overall part of that goal is to fund what they're calling a Carolina Care hospitality card. So I guess just for background, for if folks across maybe different units of the hospital, maybe outpatient, might not have heard of Carolina Care. Tell me a little bit about what that is and what that means to you.
Well, Carolina Care to me really means that we are compassionately taking care of each person that enters the door or our clinics of the organization. We're really here to show everyone that we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they have a good visit, good time here with us, because as we know, people are receiving some difficult news when they're here in the hospital, and sometimes staying overnight in the hospital or being a part of things that are scary causes anxiety, and it's our job to make sure that all the people of North Carolina know that we're here to take very good care of them.
Okay. And so one of the things, I mean, I guess not one of the things, the big goal of the campaign is the hospitality card, which would take food around, food, drinks, especially healthy food and drinks, around to patients who are in the waiting rooms or in some of the inpatient areas who may have been here a long time, coming from a long way away. So tell me how that would help you as someone who's on the floor, talking to patients and family members, working with them every day.
For example, with our trauma population, we have folks that come from different states or even within North Carolina that have received news that one of their family members or friends have been in a traumatic event, and they're here unexpectedly. And so, as you know, if you were to come unexpectedly, you come probably with either your pocketbook and your wallet, and you get your car keys and you come on over to UNC, and you do not have anything to drink, you don't have a snack or a nap, and it's just things like that that just make such the difference and make patients and family members feel welcome. We're also, it's so important to take care of the family members as well as it is the patients, because ultimately those are the folks that are going to be taking care of them when they get home. But on the floor, it's wonderful because a lot of times the nursing assistants, our health unit coordinators, the nursing staff, the charge nurses, we will go, we see that need, and we will go off the floor ourselves to go and get drinks and snacks for them, because it's so important for us to take care of them. And this will help us to be able to stay on the unit and take care of our patients better.
And then, so that's good. So
you're gonna edit this, right?
Yeah,
great.
The edit button's a good thing.
Okay.
You're doing great. So this let's say campaign successful, this comes to fruition July 1st, I guess. Volunteers start showing up on the unit and are pushing this cart around, talking to patients, saying hey to you guys. What does that mean to you, to the folks up here every day? How does that help what you're trying to do with that Carolina Care?
Human interaction is so important and critical in what we do every day. It is great for our nurse to be able to spend time at the bedside, or our nursing assistants, and even our HUCs to go in and be able to talk with them. But to have a volunteer who has time to sit and talk and listen and offer their experiences that distract them somehow from what the situation is that's going on, you would be amazed at what a difference in their outlook, keeping them positive, and offering just some compassion and caring. It goes a long ways.
And then the idea that we'd have something like this that would go around and help you know, as I think the focus, as I understand, is on adult floors. So it's not, you know, we have lots of things that are focused for children, lots of things that are focused for some of the other areas. This would be, you know, kind of an adult focused, making sure we hit that population and hit these areas. Not just that, but funded by people who work here. What does that mean?
I might have to pause for a minute to get together that question.
Or different
maybe ask me in a different way.
Different question, yeah. Why would you consider giving to support something like this?
I would consider giving because I do think you're right. We do so much for the other populations, which is important, but the adult population is equally important. As we know, our generation is aging, and most of us are finding ourselves as patients, either our co-workers or our parents, and so it's so important to support those patients as well, because they want the care and attention and deserve it just as much as everyone else. But I need to talk about giving. Hang on. Alright. So when you talk about giving, it would be important to me to be able to give, and I reach out to each one of you to also do the same. I don't really mess that up.
It's okay. So the card itself, I can show you a picture in a second. The mock-up says Carolina Care Hospitality Cart provided by UNC Healthcare co-workers. So seeing that on the card that patients, family members, guests are going to receive, what do you think that means to them to see that this is something given to me by the folks who work here?
And it's so wonderful to be able to see that the people of the hospital that work here, that take care of you, they're not only taking care of you, but they're trying to take care of your whole body and your whole person, and providing these things that they know and have realized make such a difference in the things that we do every day. And to know that the people gave of their money and their time to provide this for them really means a lot. It's good. As fast as I can.
No, that's fine. I mean, anything else you can think of we hadn't talked about you'd want to say? About the idea for this cart, about any of the other funds out there?
I feel like I really need to speak more to why an employee should give. I feel like that part I haven't really got my head wrapped around that I want to say.
Okay. Who doesn't work with patients every day, who might not come to the hospital very often, what would you say to that person in terms of the difference they'd be making with a small gift over the course of a year?
I would really encourage you to give. This is so important, to be able to provide even a snack for one day for someone who doesn't want to leave the bedside of their patient or their family member that's critically ill. How important would it be that your $5 or your $25 that you contributed would be able to provide a meal for a family who did not want to leave the side of their loved one? That's probably not the best, but that's more of what I want to get at.
Okay. No, that's good.
I probably know I need to re-say it. I have to put sentences together because I'm not sure I could do it in a cohesive bunch.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Sorry, the chocolate blushing didn't trip me out. So So I'd really like to encourage everyone, every employee in this hospital to give. What it can do is each day, say for a year, everybody contributes. And for a year, no, that's really messed up. Don't put me on the Jerry Lee telethon or anything.
Well, and I don't, it doesn't have to be a pitch either.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about making the video
Okay.
as like a pitch.
Right.
But, I mean, I think you covered some of it. I tell you what, tell me one more time. I mean, it doesn't have to be a specific patient, but tell me what you see on the unit with family members who don't want to leave the bedside, who just want to stay there, and how something like this could help them.
Okay. Gosh, I can't give an example either.
I mean, if you think one, I mean, without naming a name.
Yeah, without naming a name. Because our most common would be our trauma, like someone who's in a car accident.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. It's so. No, I've totally lost me. Just ask the question again and just let me know.
So give me an example of a patient you've seen here on the floor where family member might not want to leave the bedside, where something like this service would make a difference to them.
Yes. So we have patients that come in daily that have had a severe car accident and they're critical. The family members are just arriving from out of town and here they are. They think they may or they still could lose their loved one and they don't want to leave the bedside. So having employees and the people of this organization to be able to give some money to be able to fund this cart would be so important to keep those family members at the bedside while they're there with their loved one. Sorry. I don't think I'm going to get any better. I can't get it.
I think that's good.
I can't connect the.
I think that's good.
Like, I want to tell this story. We had this patient the other day. She had been in a car accident and her husband had passed in the accident, and she had 4 kids, and they came to bring her kids up here, and it was just really emotional to be able to see the kids connect with their mom and be able to stay with them. And it would have been a nice treat to have for, especially I have kids, so to be able to provide a fruit snack or a healthy snack so that they could stay in there and spend time with their mom because they hadn't seen her for 3 weeks. So that's really what it gets at. And that's, I mean, that's what you hope this does. I don't know. Anyway.